Ow. What's up, everyone? Punchy back with Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 3, Ch.3, and oh man, Punchy dropped the bomb. The truth bomb, if that's a thing. But we found out last time, because Satoko was in a bad state. She was essentially boiling alive in her bathroom because her, I'm still gonna do like quote unquote uncle told her said that she was stinky, blah blah, and had to take a shower in the bath for a little, and counted 10,000 while she was in the bath. So really long time, like probably would have died time, right? I don't know if I truly believe it was Toko's uncle. I just doesn't make any sense. I really don't know. Then Punchy took Satoko to the clinic, Coach's clinic, found out from the police there that Coach has committed suicide and Oishi disappeared. Both people that Punchy had wished death upon are now gone. And he just told Satoko that he killed her uncle. Let's see how she reacts. With my own hands! Even the cicadas stopped crying. Her face was streaked with tears and stiffened even more as she looked at me in disbelief. On the night of the Watsunagashi, I killed your uncle, so it's impossible that he could have gone back home. But still, he went back. And last night, he found fault with the dinner you made him. He yelled all sorts of things at you, and then basically boiled you in the bathtub. That couldn't possibly have happened. So, I wanted to make sure I'd actually killed him. So yesterday, I went to dig up the corpse I buried, but the body wasn't there. Is that even possible? I killed him for sure, but there was no body, and he went home like nothing happened. Home to you, and that wasn't supposed to happen, was it? Stoko's entire body stiffened. She was shrinking away, like there was someone in front of her about to hurt her. You probably think I've gone a little crazy, don't you? I don't blame you. I can't believe it myself. Punchy-san, I think you are very confused after all the people you wish were dead coincidentally died. You're just in shock at Coach's suicide, and you're really upset. I think you should stay home from school today and rest. I'll be fine, so please take care of yourself. Soko spoke like she understood me, but she also told me to go home. I could see the revulsion in her face, and knew that she didn't want to be around me anymore. Once I show you to the clinic, I'll go home. Your legs are still shaking, aren't they? It would be terrible if you collapsed halfway there. Really, I'm fine now. I do not want to expose my naked self to a man any more than this. Ha. She wobbled up the shrine steps, looking like she was about to fall. I immediately ran up to her and helped her stay on her feet. But then Satoko promptly jumped away from me. That outright rejection hurt a lot. Once she got to the top of the stairs, her breathing was ragged, and she wasn't even looking at me. At this point, I was being ignored. Well, it was more like she didn't want anything to she didn't want to have anything to do with me. It really was a feeling of rejection, and that hurt my heart more than any blade could have. This was the path I chose for her sake. To be treated like this at the end of it all was just so saddening. Don't be naive, Punchy Maribara. You never wanted to be repaid in the first place. You didn't do it so Satoko would thank you. You did it so Satoko would be happy. And that was what led to this ending. Ryuko-chan's house was a disaster prevention storehouse used by the town's council. If you went past it, a little further through the shrine grounds, you'd apparently reach the back of the assembly hall. Stuck was heading there, walking quickly, the gravel under her feet crunching as she went. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Did she want to get this as soon as possible, or did she want to run away? I couldn't tell. And then I heard the vigorous sound of wings flapping. I turned around and saw a crow. I hadn't seen many crows since coming to Hinamizawa. I saw them a lot in my old town, though. On garbage day, they'd flock to trash collection points, peck through the bags with their beaks, drag out the contents, and have a feast. As I was remembering that, I saw a few crows flocking over around the shrine's donation box, and I thought how terrible it was for someone to leave a garbage bag in a place like that. The cicadas quieted. Breathing stopped. Thoughts ceased. Even time came to a halt. I ran over to where the crows were flocking. I ran there in order to drive a horrible idea out of my mind. I definitely hadn't wanted this. There's no way I would ever wish for this, even by mistake. This was not. When they noticed my vicious approach, the crows all flapped upwards, fleeing into the sky. What is that? What is that? What is that? Oh. I backed away, but I can't keep this on screen. Oh, I loved these full body things, but Jesus Christ. Okay, oh no, wait, that purple hair. Oh no. How? What? Who? When the crows' big black bodies flew away, they exposed the garbage bag. Oh no, I don't want to see. No. Okay, wait. Oh, yeah, that's me. What had I seen there? The scream escaped from my throat before I understood. What was I looking at? Oh, I don't want to look at this anymore. What was this? Oh, Satoko came over as well, realizing something had happened. And she looked over my shoulder, then she screamed as well. This wasn't. Oh, don't look at me, Rika. The garbage bag was crimson, dyed in fresh blood. Enough of this stupid roundabout way of saying it. That's right. Yes. It was Rika-chan, our friend, Satoko's best friend. Always easygoing, clever as a cat, but so cute you couldn't hate her. Our friend, Rika-chan, she was... Rika-chan was stark naked. She was face up, limbs sprawled. Her eyes were like glass, just staring up into the sky. And... Rika! Satoko broke down, crying on the spot. Oh, I thought that was me. And yet, she still couldn't approach it. Her friend's remains. The crows had gotten through the garbage... Oh, God. Through the garbage bag and dragged... Well, they dragged out an apple peel and spread it all over. No. Crows, they couldn't do this. Oh, God. Oh. On the spot, I started vomiting. Yeah, seriously. The sour taste became a bitter one as I threw up over and over again. Rika-chan, her stomach. Oh, God. Was cut wide open, vertically, completely open. Rika! Oh. Crows couldn't have done this. And from her open stomach, oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm picturing it's not good. What? Higurashi really gets to her, like... I can really get into... Oh, God. I don't want to get into it. Her organs, her bowels were dragged out like children's toys left all over the floor. That unbelievable sight induced oxygen deprivation in my brain. Color left my vision, a pounding headache, dizzy and I wanted to vomit. It was like the nightmarish remains of a ceremonial killing. Well, that's oddly specific. Someone somewhere had killed Rika-chan, brought her here, laid her here with her limbs sprawled out, and then cut open her stomach and dragged out her intestines. Red and pink viscera were sticking out of her gut, and her intestines were scattered in every direction, like it had been for fun. The entire ground was covered in an ocean of red and black. A few of the crows had hopped around inside that ocean. Ugh. Oh, Rika, I loved Rika. Oh, she was one of my favorites. They walked through the sea of blood, leaving bloody footprints, and those footprints, there were several still left on Rika-chan's body. Those sinister prints made it seem even more bizarre, like a bizarre ritual killing. I may have wished for Takano-san and Coach and Oishi to die, but I didn't remember ever wishing for Rika-chan's death. God, thank God I don't have to see that anymore. Alright. Tea break. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I stumbled backwards and then stepped on a newspaper. A newspaper? In a place like this? The newspaper was what was covering my hatchet. I kept it wrapped up and on my belt in order to carry Satoko. And that newspaper had fallen off. Don't scare me like that. I bent down to pick it up, and then Satoko looked at me with such disbelief I'd never seen, and froze. She was looking straight at me, at that hatchet on my belt. Oh God, it just got worse and worse. Eek! Calm down, Satoko. This isn't what it looks like. Satoko, trembling madly, backed away. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't. Murder. She didn't care at all. She was exposing herself through the towel. She just trembled and tried to step back from the demon in front of her. Satoko, please, calm down. Please, relax. Satoko, no! No! Screaming weakly, Satoko began to run unsteadily. Run away, that is. Wait, please! Wait, Satoko! You're wrong! That's not it! The way she ran away, it was so weak, so slow. So if I wanted to go after her, I could have caught up. But if I tried to grab Satoko's shoulder or something right now, she might actually go crazy. So I had to follow her and try to clear this up. You killed Takano-san and Coach and Oishi-san, didn't you? You killed my uncle, and then you killed Rika. You murderer! Wait a minute. Time out. She said you killed my uncle. I don't know if it's just like the maddening situation of seeing her best friend dead, but does that mean yes, she knows he's dead? No! It wasn't me! I didn't kill her! What are you saying? You just said it yourself, did you not? You wanted them to die, and then everyone died, didn't they? Well, no. Just wishing that they were dead. That couldn't. You didn't even remember what you did, do you? How can I trust a person like you? Didn't your memory of killing them just slip your mind? No. Maybe you're only pretending not to remember. Besides, what is that hatchet for? Try explaining that. It's for... See? Punchy-san, you are a killer, aren't you? Why did you do it? You were a little mean, but you were fun and kind. And once, I even thought you might be my real Nini. Why did you turn into this? I might have been able to solely answer each one of Satoko's questions at a time, but in this situation, explaining my innocence in such a short period of time was impossible. I mean, I didn't even know if I was really innocent anyway. At the very least, I killed Satoko's uncle. There was no body, but I killed him. Without a doubt. At this point, I was far from innocent. and I wished Takano-san, Coach, and Oishi were dead. And that curse of mine was granted. When I wished for Takano-san to die, I didn't think of it as anything more than a normal thing you'd say to someone you didn't like. But she actually did die, and I realized that if I wanted people to die, they would. And hoping it would happen again, I cursed Coach and Oishi to the same fate. So, even ignoring Takano-san's death, Coach's and Oishi's were completely premeditated crimes. They're still not his fault. I mean, I feel like I have to acknowledge that there is some sort of supernatural thing going on, but he didn't. I mean, I'm just like I was kind of theorizing that Coach didn't die by suicide, probably like forced, kind of like Tomotage scratching at his own throat. That's just not something that you think would happen. And Oishi just disappeared. We don't even know if he's dead. We don't know if he ties into this some other way. So, emotions are running high. So, was I a killer, just like Satoko said? Was I unable to distinguish between illusion and reality, and turn into a demon without remembering it, become a killer who carried Oishiro-sama's curse? No, that couldn't be. It was impossible. Damn it. The very word impossible was impossible in Hinamizawa right now. How many freaking times had I said that word these past 3 days? Satoko had started crying again and was walking unsteadily. At first it felt like she was running, but now it was like she was walking away, crying from someone bullying her. Why? Why did things turn out this way? Why? Why? If there was an answer to that, then I wanted to know too. Why? Why did it turn out like this? After Nini went away, I was lonely for a long time. But then Punchy-san transferred to our school and everyone was happy again. It was fun again. Every day was beautiful. Yeah, she was right. Those days were bright and beautiful. And yet, after that, Satoko and I shouted the same exact thing. How did it turn out like this? The cicadas were sneering at the spectacle. Our strange game of tag. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Eventually, I heard the murmuring of a stream. The forest parted, and a suspension bridge appeared. Has this always been there? Satoko was crossing dangerously, wobbling as though she might fall at any moment. And when I stepped onto the bridge, it swayed a lot, causing Satoko to stagger and fall on the spot. Satoko, are you okay? Don't come near me! You murderer! Satoko shouted, her hatred made very clear. It was sad. If words could cut, this warmth flowing from my eyes would have been blood for sure. Why did you turn out this way? Punchy-san, I really liked you. I wanted to go up to her and give her a hand, but the distance between us was uncrossable. If I got any closer, Satoko would start shouting again, and say things that would hurt me deeply again. So I couldn't approach any closer than this. Satoko, I don't know how things turned out like this either, but I can say this. I wasn't the one who killed Rika-chan. At least that is true. Please, stop being so absurd. How do you expect me to believe anything someone who can't even rely on his own memories has to say? I tightened my hands into fists. This was mortifying. I wasn't crazy. Hinamizawa was crazy. Ever since I started wandering into it, lost on that one night. This insane world, where I was at the festival when I wasn't, and the uncle I killed was alive. Where death would come just by wishing for it. It was this world's fault. Mina and Rena started acting strangely, like they're possessed by something too. And Coach wouldn't believe anything I had to say. Even Satoko, who I should have protected, was yelling at me like this. Was the price for killing a man supposed to be this high? Was I really going to be forced to stay in such a bitter world? I did the right thing. At least, I wanted to. So then, why? I hated it. Every time I asked why, the day Satoko and I enjoyed in peace went so wrong. Satoko, please believe me. I'm not a murderer. Then what is that hatchet for? Can you give me a convincing explanation for that? Is this hatchet scaring you? Okay, I'll throw it away. That's what you want, right? Satoko did nod, but she seemed to be in agreement with that proposition. I clumsily took the hatchet out of my belt and dropped it over the side of the bridge into the stream below. There, it's gone. Now, you'll listen to me, right? You think I'll let my guard down just because you got rid of your weapon? Punchy-san, you're strong. It would be easy for you to strangle me with your bare hands. Like hell I would. Ever want to kill Satoko. You idiot. Then what should I do? Should I put my hands on my head? Yes, why don't you? Please put your hands on your head and face the other way. It was a cunning plan, much like the one she used during club activities. Putting my hands on my head and turning away would mean I couldn't attack Satoko very easily. I immediately acquiesced to her result, since it would make her feel better. Is this alright? Please listen to what I have to say. Satoko stood up, then carefully approached me from behind. And then, she actually came right up behind me. She was so close, and yet I was so sad that I wasn't allowed to turn around. I sort of think I understand that it isn't your fault, Punchy-san. Huh? I think probably you've just been possessed by something evil. Until before, I thought Punchy-san was a killer, but now I know. After looking at your eyes, I could hear that Satoko was still crying, but her voice was gentle just the same. Punchy-san could never kill anyone. Something simply possessed his body and made him do evil things. Was she speaking literally right now? Or was she trying to admonish me? I couldn't tell. Come to think of it, maybe they were possessed, just like Punchy-san. At that time, I was only thinking I would be killed, so I didn't think about it. But now I understand. That was the work of something evil that possessed you. Satoko? What? Are you... It was less like she was talking to me, and more like she was talking to herself, like she was confessing at my back. I understand, you know. It isn't like I've experienced it myself. Satoko's voice started to become mixed with sobs. Her pained voice tore at my heart, but I didn't know what Satoko was talking about. I climbed to the top of the ritual storehouse once. It was a few years ago. Once, when Satoko was playing hide-and-seek at the shrine grounds, she climbed into the roof of the storehouse for ritual implements, which everyone said not to go near, and hid. Then Satoko saw she could get in through a window meant for ventilation. For Satoko, the word curse was plenty scary, but she was more curious about what was inside the unknown storehouse. She took removing the grating on the window, which was already hanging off, slid her small body into it, and climbed inside. Ooh. Huh. So she went to the forbidden storehouse. So if there is a curse, this is a big deal. Going inside here when you're not supposed to. It was too dark to see much, but after descending, she realized just how high up she'd been. Despite the darkness, she could see a few things around her, thanks to the faint light coming in from the air window. And to her disappointment, it was just a regular storehouse. She had to leave, but the door was locked up tight from the outside, and it was made not to open from within. She would have to go back out through the ventilation window she'd come from. But the window was high on the wall, and there was no way she would be able to climb back up. Satoko desperately tried not to cry, and racked her brain thinking of a way to get up there. There was a lot of birdcage-looking things hanging by chains from the ceiling. She took the hanging chains and strung them along the wall. If she climbed up the bundle of chains, she might be able to manage to climb up the ventilation window. There's something else she could do, so she had to try. And try she did. It was dark and creepy, and she didn't want to stay there forever. The more she thought about it, the more she panicked. She climbed to the bundle of chains. She climbed to the bundle of chains. Stoko could hear the clinks and clangs of everything creaking under her weight. And then, just as her hand reached the window, one of the metal fixtures she'd used to stick the chains on the wall flew off, and the chains all began to pull loudly and furiously every which way. Spurred on by the sounds behind her, she managed to get back onto the roof from the window. Because of the weight of the flailing bundle of chains, the other fixtures broke. And then, one of the big bird cages hanging from the ceiling fell to the floor with a huge noise. Under it was an image of Oyashiro-sama, his vessel, and the cage took off one of the arms, then trapped some other implements behind it. This is a big thing if there are curses. She went to the storehouse and messed up Oyashiro-sama's statue. It didn't take very long for her to grow scared of what she'd done. The deafening noise could be heard from the rest of the shrine grounds. A few other children heard it and gathered around, and of course, Rika was one of them. Then, Rika's father, the shrine priest, with an angry look ran over. And then, as for what happened next, it was painful to remember. The only one who knew where Rika-chan's parents kept the key to the storehouse was Rika. So he scolded her, saying that this had happened because Rika was pulled a prank and hid me in there. He was very angry and menacing. Just looking at him was enough to frighten anyone. He exposed Rika's back, took a strangely shaped ritual cane or something, and struck her with it several times. Oh, poor Rika. Rika's words at the time, "It wasn't me, it wasn't me, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." That pitiable voice, I still can't get it out of my head. I should have said it was me. I'm just reading in Punchy's voice, or my own voice. I should have said so, to save my best friend from that false accusation, without being afraid of Rika-chan's father's terrible temper. Rika gritted her teeth and cried, at the crime she didn't remember doing. Ever since then, the world had been strange. I know, I understand. This is Oyashiro-sama's curse. Oof. Well, a lot's happened. We're on a bridge with our hands on our head and Stoko behind us. I'm just saying, there's a lot of holes in that bridge, and I do not feel safe. Anyway, we're going to continue next. Just gonna take another little 5-minute break, and I am going to be back at it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.